latest survey by the National Association for Business Economics sees companies starting to add jobs again this quarter, and that the economy will remain firmly on track for the next 2 years. Lynn Reaser is the president of the NABE and the chief economist at Point Loma Nazarene University. We're pleased to have her join us now to discuss the latest survey results. Welcome to you. What would you say was the most surprising thing you heard from your survey respondents?
The most surprising element was the optimism our panelists suggested that businesses are seeing. They see businesses taking advantage of the improvement in profits, good productivity gains to boost both capital spending and hiring. And this certainly is a very good spot of good news for both the public and also the sustainability of our economic recovery.
How robust will the hiring be? In my research, your survey found that a lot of the jobs, or we should finally see jobs added to this economy early this year.
Our economists are believing that we'll start to see a little bit of job growth even this quarter, probably in March, and then it will slowly start to gain some momentum. It will not be rapid to begin with. A little more than 100,000 jobs added on average per month this year, probably about 200,000 on average next year, but at least it will represent a start. It will be enough to gradually nudge that unemployment rate down slowly towards around 9.5% by the end of this year.
And will those jobs you're referring to be added mostly in small business or large business, or what kind of industry?
It probably will be fairly across the board. We've already started to see some better news from a number of the manufacturers. Generally, our economists see a broad-based economic recovery with only non-residential commercial construction moving lower. We see higher spending moderately on the part of consumers, a pretty good pickup in business capital spending, good growth in exports, rebuilding of inventories, all of those industries likely to add jobs pretty much across the spectrum.
Let's talk about this corporate investment, because you're seeing a rapid growth rate in CapEx, in business spending. Why is business investment growing so fast right now? Does it have to do with the inventory situation?
Two reasons. One, companies are seeing an improvement in overall operating earnings, so they have the cash to invest. And second, they need to keep spending to bolster productivity gains to maintain their competitiveness both domestically and overseas. So it's a very good piece of news also indicating the confidence of business that perhaps they're becoming more convinced that this economic recovery has some staying power.
So if companies...
And this is something we've heard. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was going to ask you, if companies are spending money, are they more optimistic that consumers will start ratcheting up their spending as well?
I think they're seeing signs that consumers are beginning to become a little more less cautious about the economy. They're starting to come out in the shopping malls. And we've heard from a number of the tech companies that companies are in the so-called replacement refresh cycle, where they're needing to upgrade some of the PC software, printers, overall networking devices. So all of this bodes very well for the increase in tech spending.
All right, well, this is a very rosy picture, according to your survey. The economists who participated are very optimistic. According to our discussion thus far, they have to have concerns, though. What are they?
There are definitely concerns. This recovery is not as robust as you typically see following a deep downturn. And why? We still have financial headwinds in our face. Commercial real estate will be a problem. We still have non-performing loans on bank balance sheets. Our economists think that bank lending will pick up a little bit as we move through the year, but it still will be fairly stringent. So this will be a recovery that is significant, but not nearly as robust as you typically see.
All right, Lynn, thanks for the discussion today. One quick more point.
Thank you. Just that the longer-term issue remains the size of our federal budget deficit. That remains, survey after survey, the #1 issue for the longer term.